In the previous videos, you learned how to make a simple list and how you learned to work with the individual elements in a list. Now you will learn how to loop through an entire list using just a few lines of code regardless of how long the list is. Looping allows you to take the same action or set of actions with every item in a list. As a result, you will be able to work efficiently with lists of any length, including those with thousands or even millions of items. Let's talk about looping. Let's talk about looping through an entire list. Let's see and let's learn. Okay, let's make a quick list of names of, let's add a few names. Let's say Brar, Zafar, and let's add one more name, Khan. If I run it, let me run it. If I run it, the list will be displayed. Okay, but now I'm interested in loop. Okay, to make a loop, you add this command, and you must remember this command for name and names. Then you add clone. Now if you run it, print names, you will see that each name is displayed. We begin by defining a list. We define a for loop. The line tells Python to pull a name from the list names and associated with the variable name. For every name in the list of names, print the name's name. The output is a simple printout of each name in the list. Okay, now let's do more work in a loop. How can you do more work in a loop? Let's do more work within a loop. It is quite easy. Let me just erase it and let me write it again. Let's make a quick list of different items. Let's say that we have four names. Let's talk about names because names are easy to print out or for understanding sake. And let's just add one more name, Wajid. Okay, now just let me print it. Okay, if I print it, you will see that it is displayed as it is. Now if I want to make a loop which is already clear, okay, I'll just simply write for name in names, and then if I want to add more extra words, then I just write this command, and we have already used it in the previous videos. If you haven't watched the previous videos yet, please go and just watch them so that you understand. We already discussed about title, we already discussed about these commands, and we covered it at length. Okay, and it will really help you. The previous videos are really important. Let's say name title, just say that is a good person. I would say I will just write a good person. Okay, you can add any comment if you want to. Okay, and then code it in quotes and just run it. You can see that each name is displayed with the comment. Abrar is a good person, Khan is a good person, Wajid is a good person, and we include, if you want to write it in upper letter, just add upper and now run it, and you see that the names are capitalized. Okay, if you want to add another line, okay, another group of words, you can just repeat the same task, the same coding. Okay, if quotes. Okay, here let me write something. Let's say that I just can't wait to meet all of you. I just add this comment. Okay, now what I will do, I'll just simply use brackets and use name dot title. If you want to display it as a title or is in upper cases, it depends on you. Now if I want to make it in next line, I will just use n. Now let's see what happens. Okay, there is a problem. Okay, you can see that there is an error and it happens in coding. And can you tell me where the error is? Okay, the error is here because you just can't use the next line command in the codes. So the error is basically here. You can use it outside the curly brackets, and now if you run it, there is still an error. Okay, I just made this mistake deliberately because I wanted you to understand with me how to fix errors. So the you can't use point or equality inside the brackets. So you just need to remove that, and now it will run perfectly. Here Abrar is a good person, I just can't wait to meet all of you. Abrar. Khan is a good person, I just can't wait to meet all of you. Khan. And Wajid is a good person, I just can't wait to meet all of you. Wajid. So you can just add as many comments as you want to. You can add as many extra thing that you want to add. And if your basics are clear, again I want to focus that if your basics are clear, you can beautify your codings. And if you don't know about like how these title are used, how these friend command with extra things that are used, so for that you need to go back and watch the previous videos, and it will help you a lot. So go back, watch the previous videos so that your concept get clear. And now we are going from step to step. We are going to cover complicated things. So I think you just need to clear basics, because basics are very important, very crucial. Okay, let's talk about doing something after a loop. And it's very interesting what happens once a loop has finished executing. Usually you will want to summarize a block of output or move on to other work that your program must accomplish. Any lines of code after the for loop that are not indented are executed once without repetition. Let's write a thank you to the group of names as a whole, thanking them for coming to the party or whatever. To display this group of messages after all of the individual messages have been printed, replace the thank you message after the for loop without indentation. So let me just write it for you, and let me just explain what happens. Okay, let's just make me quick list names, and just let me add 3 names as usual. You can add as many names as you want to, it depends on you. Okay, we'll just add just 3 names. Okay, now let me make a loop. Okay, to make a loop I will use this command. Okay, now I'm going to print. Okay, to print it, and I want to add extra words, so I'm going to use quotes, and inside quotes I'm going to use the name dot what title, and that was thank you all of you. Let's suppose I just add it. Okay, if you add dot inside here bracket or anything else, then the code will not run. Okay, now let me add something else as well. Okay, that's enough for a while. Okay, let's look at here. Abrar, thank you all of you. Khan, thank you all of you. Wajid, thank you all of you. Okay, now let me write some other words. Okay, French, and then F command, then clones. Okay, when you use it, then you will get used to it, and it will get you will just get automatic. I can't wait to see all of you again. Okay, let's suppose that I add this. Now just use a curly bracket and name dot title. Okay, look here, all these things are repeated. Abrar, thank you all of you. I can't wait to see all of you again. Khan, thank you all of you. I can't want to see all of you again. Okay, now if it is not indented, okay, if the space is not maintained, if the space is changed, if the space is not balanced, let's suppose that I just change the space like here, it will just add this line once, okay, it will not add it for everyone. Now if we maintain this space, then it will be repeated for each name. So you need to understand that indentation is very important, balancing is very important in Python, okay, spacing is very important. Sometimes you get an error, sometimes some of the names will be displayed, some will not be displayed, and you will be just worried like there is no problem in the coding, and still the output is not displayed as I desired. So you need to understand that these things are very important. Balancing is very important if you want to get an accurate result. Let's just talk about forgetting to indent. Okay, let's suppose that let me write a list again. Let me just quickly write a list. Khan and Jawad, Abdullah, Abdullah. Okay. Now if I want to make make a loop, okay, for name in names. I hope you got it. It is not that difficult now. Okay, this is names. Okay, now if I enter, I need to start from here. Now if I start from here, let's suppose, okay, change the place. Now let's see what happens. Print name. Let me just do it quickly. Okay, now let me just change the space a little bit more. Let's let's accept that by mistake I start from here, okay, by mistake. And now let's see what happens. You get an error, okay, and this is called indented error. Now if I change the position and if I run, the error is being removed. So you need to understand the indentation error, the spacing error, the balancing error, and it is very important in Python. So you need to understand it and overcome it with time, and it can be overcome with practice. Okay, if you write so many codings, if you become master at programming, you will understand that I don't need to repeat this because I will get this error. I don't need to do this because I will get this error. So your mind will just understand each and everything without looking for anything in detail. So you just need to make a lot of mistakes. Mistakes are good, and if you can't make mistakes, you will not learn. So make as many mistakes as you could. This is how you will learn. If you don't make mistakes, then it doesn't mean if you don't make mistakes, it means that you're not learning. So every beginner, you just need to make mistakes, and you just need to just don't be afraid of mistakes. In simple words, just make it and just correct it. Okay, let's talk about forgetting. We already covered it, but I think we need to do it again as an example. Forgetting to indent additional lines. Okay, this is very important. Okay, now if I change the space, then if I run it, I get this, like I misdrew all of the line. It is just displayed for one name. Okay, now if I change it from here to here, let's see what happens. You can see that it is each line is displayed for each name, which is fine. Okay, now if I change it further, let's see what happens. You see that I get an error. So you need to take care of the indentation error, and it is very important in coding. Sometimes you will just write a bunch of codings, a lengthy coding, and you will just don't understand what went wrong. Everything will be fine, and still you will be looking for the desired outputs, the things that you're looking for, and still it will not be displayed the way you had desired, you had wished, the way you had expected. So you need to take care of these balancing things. It is very important. Balancing is very important in Python. Okay, now let's talk about indentation. Indenting on necessarily. This is very crucial. Okay, let me just write a quick message. Let's suppose that message, and let's say I just write message, hello, hello there, hello body, hello boys. Okay, and then I'm going to run it, and I start from here, print message. Okay, now if I run it, I will get an error, because this is not a loop. Okay, loop usually starts from here, but this is not a loop. Now if I remove the indentation error, I run it, you can see that I get my desired output. And we already talked about it, that message here is variable. Okay, and you assign a value to the variable and you print it. We already talked about variables and things like that in the previous videos in a great length, so we already covered a great deal of things in the previous videos. Now let's talk about indenting unnecessary after the loop. Indenting, if you can fix this error, then you don't have to worry about anything else after the loop. Because sometimes it is difficult to spot the error, like you don't know what the error is and everything is fine. Okay, now let me just write names, a list. Let me just quickly make a list. Khan, Brar, and now let's say I add one more name, Riaz. Okay, and I just want to make a loop. Okay, and now just friend, let me just say friend, and let me add a comment. Let me just add a comment. Whenever you use f, then you should always add the quotes. Let me just add that name dot title, I miss you. Okay, let's say that I miss you, just write it. Okay, now if I run it, let's see, I run it and I get the desired output. Okay, now just let me write another comment here. Okay, French, if, and if I can't wait to see you again, okay, and just close them in brackets, name dot title. Okay, let's see what happens next. And if I want to move to the next line, then you can also do that by using this command. We already covered it in previous videos, how to add space, how to move to the next command. Okay, now there we have an error. Okay, and where the error is, if you can spot the error, I will be just extremely grateful to you. Just tell me where the error is. You can see that the error is here. We don't put a comma here. Okay, we usually have a comma here. You can see that. Now if you run it, you still have an error. Okay, just tell me. If you're not going to tell me, then I'm going to tell you where the error is. The error is here. Simply you don't put the brackets here. Okay, now if you run it, then it will exactly the error will be removed. So I have used curly brackets. So I deliberately use curly brackets or another type of brackets, so that I make a mistake and you just understand that like if you are using this sort of thing, then you are going to face a problem. So I deliberately do things so that you understand very well. Okay, these are for learning sake, and this is how we learn. Okay, now let me just add one more line. Friend, thank you boys, just simply let me just simply add it, thank you boys. Now let me run it, and you can see that here, Han, I miss you, I can't wait to see you again, thank you boys. Okay, start from here, thank you boys, and thank you boys is here, thank you boys is in the second line and also in the third line. This is also an error, indentation error, and this is a very logical error in a sense that I need that the thank you voice is displayed once, okay, not like twice or thrice, okay. So fix this error. We already discussed that for loop we usually start from here, okay, but for other comments we usually start from here, like it should be like match with names, like this spacing and this spacing needs to be fine, okay, needs to be okay, like balance with each other, parallel with each other. Now if I run it, then you can see that it is just displayed once, and this is how our error has been removed. So you need to understand these sort of things, and indentation error, and it is very important. Let's say that we add 2-3 more lines here, like additional lines. So let's see what happens now, and you can see that thank you boys, it is still repeated more than once, while we just need it at the end. Let's see that if you just make it to the corner, then you just get the desired output, and this is what we want, okay. Another important error that we do in Python is that when we forget the colon, okay, when we forget the colon, and this is really an error that we usually repeat, and we are not really aware of it. Let me just make a quick list. Khan and Jawad, and let's say Dua. This 3 names I had, and let me just make the loop, okay. Now if I just print names, okay, and if I just run it, it will be displayed. Now if I remove the colon, then you will get an error, okay, and it is right here, syntax error, expected colon. If you put the colon, then the error will be removed, and the input will be displayed on the screen. Now let's talk about making numerical list. Making numerical list, it is also crucial and important. Making numerical list. Many reasons exist to store a set of numbers. For example, you will need to keep track of the positions of each character in a game, and you might want to keep track of a player's high scores as well. In data visualizations, you will almost always work with sets of numbers such as temperatures, distances, population sizes, or latitude and longitude values, among other types of numerical sets. Lists are ideal for storing sets of numbers, and Python provides a variety of tools to help you work efficiently with list of numbers. Once you understand how to use these tools effectively, your code will work well even when your list contains millions of items. So lists are very crucial. Talk about using the range function. This is very interesting, using the range function, and I really love this. Okay, now Python's range function makes it easy to generate a series of numbers. For example, you can use the range function to print a series of numbers like this. For value, okay, this is the for value in range. Let's say that 1 to 6. Okay, now if I just have to find its range, just print value and just run it. It will be displayed from 1 to 5. You can see here that it is displayed from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Although this code looks like it should print the numbers from 1 to 6, it doesn't print the number 6. Okay, in this example, range prints only the numbers 1 through 5. This is another result of the off by 1 behavior you will see often in programming languages. The range function causes Python to start counting at the first value you give it, and it stops when it reaches the second value you provide. Because it stops at that second value, output never contains the end value, which would have been 6 in this place. To print the number from 1 to 6, you use range from 1 to 7. Okay, so the last digit will not be displayed from 1 to 7. Okay, 7 will not be displayed. Similarly here 8 will not be displayed. Similarly here 9 will not be displayed. Okay, so So the last digit will not be displayed. Python just tells the command to display from 1 to 9, not 9, just like the last digit will not be on the screen. If your output is different than what you expect when you are using range, try adjusting your in value by 1. You can also, like, if you want to display 9 numbers like 1 to 9, then you should add 10, like your range should be from 1 to 10. You can also pass range only one argument, and it will start the sequence of numbers at 0. For example, range 6 will return the numbers from 0 to 5. Just add one value. Let's say that you can also use one value, you add 6, so start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's say that you add 9, so it will start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Okay, similarly, if you use 5, then simply let's see, if we use 0, then you get nothing. Okay, because 0 is not displayed. If you add 1, then you just get 0. Okay, and as I said that the last value will not be, and if you want to use the range, like specific range 1, 9, then it will start from 1 to 8. I hope it is easy and fun. Now let's learn how to use range to make a list of numbers. It is very interesting and very important in Python, so I want that you learn it as well. Okay, about using range to make a list of numbers. Okay, if you want to make a list of numbers, you can convert the results of range directly into a list using the list function. When you wrap list around a call to the range function, the output will be a list of numbers. And the example in the previous section, we simply in the previous just a while ago, we simply printed out a series of numbers. You can use list to convert that same set of numbers into a list. Now okay, let's just let me add an example. Let's say that you add numbers, okay, and you just add it in list command, list, and just add range how 1 to 6. Now just you already understand very well that how to print it. Just add friend and numbers, and now you will get numbers from 1 to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you made a list, an easy list. You add 7, so you can see that you add from 1 to 6, or you just simply add 8, then now it will start from 0 to 7. Okay, how it is easy and quite clear. Okay, we can also use the range function to tell Python to skip numbers in a given range. Okay, if you pass a third argument to range, Python uses that value as a step size when generating numbers. For example, here is how to list even numbers between 1 and 10. Okay, so what I am using even numbers. Okay, so my range will be I'm using even number 11, 2, because I need even numbers from 1 to 10. Okay, so now here we get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, in this example, the range function starts with the value 2 and then adds 2 to that value. It adds 2 repeatedly until it reaches or passes the end value, which is 11, and produces this result. Okay, you can create almost any set of numbers you want to using the range function. For example, consider how you might make a list of the first 10 or 12 square numbers, that is the square of each integer from 1 through 10. In Python, 2 asterisks represent exponents. Here is how you might put the first 10 square numbers into a list. We already talked about how to add numbers, how to subtract numbers, how to multiply numbers, how to add numbers as power. So let me just add another example, how to use squares. Okay, and now just for value n, use me the let me use the range function for value n 1 to 11. Okay, now I'm gonna add square. Okay, square is what value to 2, value to the power 2. Okay, now squares dot append and square. Okay, just see what happens now. I think I have written the name of square incorrectly. square square. Okay, square. Okay, now let me run it. Let's see what happens. There is an error. Okay, we have forgotten the clone, and I already talked about it a while ago, that how can it create a problem for you. Okay, we still have an error. Okay, just we need to add square. We forget to print the variable squares. Okay, we already defined the range and everything. You just have to print it, and let's see what happens. Skew already ran it once. So we have from 1 to 11 squares of the digits 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81 and 100. If you want to add one more number from 1 to 12, now it will be 11. Now if you want to cube it, just add 3 here, and you can see that, now if you want to add 4, then you can also do that. If you want to add 5, you can also do that. You can make the changes according to your need, according to your desire. Okay.